All right, let's talk about the key that Brock Purdy holds after watching the Cardinal game. A few throws that I want to go through here. Something Debo Samuel said, and all I was thinking about during the game was something that a current NFL quarterback said to me last week. I'm going to read you this quote. This is what he said when I asked him. The question was, why do the Niners hit so many explosives? How are they hitting so many explosive plays in the passing game? This was the answer. Kyle knows defenses. He knows when to dial up certain plays versus when he anticipates certain coverages. A lot of the time, he's right. And when he's not, it's about finding the throw, finding the check down, and even that can be a big play given the talent on the field. I think that the way he calls a game and sees defenses and knows where to get guys with certain timing is pretty impressive to watch. Then it's on the QB when it's not there to make the right decision and get the ball to the playmakers. So I was thinking about this watching the game because, so much of the MVP conversation has been about Brock's supporting cast when, Kyle is also the supporting cast. Really, he's the director of the whole thing. So, the first wide open touchdown of the game, and by the way, like and subscribe because I'm using NFL footage. This is not going to get monetized. So when you hit that like button, more people see it, more people subscribe, and then watch the other videos. All right, here we go. So this play, which was WAO, as we like to call it, wide ass open. Listen to what Debo said after the game about that touchdown.
As we practiced that, and in my head, I'm like, yo, no way, like, this is going to be this wide open. But I came around and seen nobody, and Kyle put that in, and normally when he puts stuff in, it works.
I love the end of that. Kyle put that in, and normally when he puts stuff in, it works. All right. So that goes to the first part of what of that quote, right? About a lot of the time Shanahan knows defenses, and a lot of the times he's right. When he's not right, it's about finding the check down, and even that can be a big play. Not every check down looks like a check down. Let's see what we have up here next. This is a throw within the offense that is just, I called it after the game last night. I think one of Brock's best throws. This is not so much about the play or about the quote, but I just had to put this throw in there because it's, this is something he's done now for 20 games or whatever, where I said this last night. I've said it many times, but I just found the example, so I had to show it. Sometimes the turnover worthy plays or the actual turnovers happen in the middle of the field. I think he can be a little looser in the middle of the field because he tries to make so many touch throws there. And there's so many guys that are open coming across the field that he drives on the ball. But these sideline throws can change a whole game if it's the wrong throw. And, he's been really good because these are pick sixes. If you miss the spot, if he misses these, I remember he missed one to Jennings a few weeks ago to the outside, to the sideline. He misses these in the right spot. But when he hits them, I mean, this is just a ridiculous throw. All right, anyway, moving on because that's not actually part of the theme of this video. It was just a great throw, and rewatching it last night and this morning, I had to include it. All right, now this is, making plays outside of the offense. This is the play got hurt on. And, when you say the word check down, sometimes it looks different than a quote unquote check down can look, which is what this is. Oh, that's wrong throw. Sorry. Did I put that throw in here twice? I might have. Let's see. What else do I have here? Purdy. Oh, that's after he got hurt. So this is the throw, all right, so I have these out of order, but that's okay. Because I thought when this throw happened, Brock gets hurt. When this throw happened, I thought back to something that a former quarterback told me a couple of months ago at the beginning of the season, maybe a month into the season, when we were talking about Brock, and he said to me, God, I love Brock. And I said, what do you love about Brock? And one thing he mentioned was decision-making, but the other thing he said was just how fearless he is, that after a certain point, usually in most quarterbacks' careers, they start to get hit a lot, especially once they get to the league. They start to get hit a lot. And when you get hit as much as these guys get hit, eventually you start to shy away from stuff. You start to get a little bit gun shy. And, for Brock, here's the play he got hurt on. For Brock, this was the check down, quote unquote check down, which was him being creative on a play he got All right, I just got that mislabeled. That's not the play I got hurt on. Where did that play go? Well, you've all seen the play, so I don't have that play here, I don't think. But he gets hurt creating outside of the pocket. And then the very next play, he comes back. Well, not the very next play because Darnold comes in, but 3 plays later, he comes back in the game. And what does he do? He he puts himself in harm's way, steps up, and makes another great touch throw. I mean, it was just, I thought, after watching Darnold, it was a great example of just watching his touch. That was also evident. But I thought that for him to bounce back after getting hit the way he got hit was also uh, it was exactly what that guy had told me 2 months ago, which was, you know, when you get hit, you change a little bit. Most guys do. But this guy didn't. Now, he didn't get a head injury. He wasn't dazed. It was a shoulder stinger, but still, he steps out of the pocket, makes a play, which I mislabeled and don't have here, and I don't think. And then still the very next opportunity he gets, he steps up and makes basically the same play. The play gets hurt on, he moves left, steps up, gets it to use check, and then gets hit, comes out. Darnold comes out, unleashes some rocket launchers. You go, oh, are we sure everybody could just step into this offense and run it the way Brock runs it? Because you have to hit those plays to keep the thing moving. He keeps the key to it all is you just keep it moving. You don't make mistakes. You keep it moving. But don't make mistakes is easier said than done. So then he steps up and, you know, uh, I think of a golf analogy when I think of don't make mistakes. When you are in the position that I've been in for a long time, trying to go from being the guy that shoots 98, 99, bad day 105 to 88, 89. One thing a lot of the guys who've played for a long time tell you at the end of the round, you're like, it's always the same. It's like, I mean, you're right. It's 7 or 8 shots. Like you're right there, right? Which is you're always 7 or 8 shots. If only those 7 or 8 shots had gone differently. And so the advice you get when you're at that point, it's like, I got to tell you, man, especially if you're playing with better golfers during the round, they'll be like, don't try to split those trees right there. Let's just chip out and live for the next shot. And let's just get this thing. Let's just no hero ball, right? Don't make mistakes. And it's good advice and it works, but that alone doesn't take you from 98 to 88. I can't speak to if it takes you from 88 to 78 or 78 to 70, but I know that alone doesn't take you from 98 to 88. And the reason that it doesn't take you from 98 to 88 is because simply being in the middle of the fairway doesn't mean you won't make any mistakes. So just saying, hey, man, eliminate the mistakes and it'll all fall together is great in theory. I mean, really what it is eliminate the horrible decision making, right? But the mistakes are still going to happen. And it's so much easier said than done to say, just play mistake-free quarterback. Don't take any big shots. Don't take any chances. Just be mistake-free. Well, this guy does take big shots. This guy does take chances. I think going back to that quote, a lot of what happens in the game looks easy because of the way Kyle schemes it. But I think Brock makes a lot of stuff look easier than most guys make it look. I was thinking about it watching Josh Allen and Dak yesterday. I was thinking about it watching Lamar. I was thinking about it watching all these guys. Like they're running around making incredible plays. Brock runs around, makes a couple of plays too. But his biggest quality is when everybody else is spraying it, I'm going to try and put it in the middle of the fairway. And when you watch somebody play golf and they put it in the middle of the fairway, and then they hit their second shot up on the green, you don't go, oh, well, he's got it easy. He was in the middle of the fairway. No, he put it in the middle of the fairway. Well, Brock gets the ball out quickly on time to the right person who is open. That's putting it in the middle of the fairway. And yesterday was more of an example of that. Yeah, the juice touch pass was a flick as well, all while getting smoked in the grill. Again, I had it, I thought, mislabeled it. And that's the nature of doing this before you've had your caffeine, I guess. But that was back-to-back throws, right? The juice throw and the Kittle throw, back-to-back throws, incredible touch. And I thought it was such a great juxtaposition, biggest word we'll use on the show, to see him, because they weren't really a juxtaposition, they were the same. But to see him make that play before he gets hit, comes back in the game, and just makes the same play again with no fear, with the same amount of touch, no extra adrenaline, no panic, nothing. And then let's see. Oh, well, I don't even. Yeah, here we go. Let's go Debo touchdown at the end of the game. This is just doing. This is what this would put that you'd put this in the category of just doing what the offense had you doing. This is not unique to Brock. This has always amazed me about every quarterback that makes a good throw. When you have to throw the ball, this is the touchdown to Debo on the front pylon. Watch when Brock releases where Debo is. You'll see Debo's at the 12-yard line when Purdy releases this ball. Let's roll the tape. Here we go. Just ridiculous. Again, this throw is not really part of the theme today, but it was just so good you had to include it. All right, ball is out there. Ball. Let's just stitch this together in a NFL referee style. When does the ball come out? And then maybe a little choppy here. Let's see. I was a little late there on the here. Ball is out. Ball is out, and Debo's at the 11-yard line. So just think about that when you watch the second replay. I'm just gonna watch it. I won't touch it. I'll just watch it. It's art. Everybody in the big hats. All right. Ball is out. I mean, was he just aiming for the pylon? Could he just hit the pylon right there? What a catch. How are you supposed to? You can't defend that. I mean, that's one of those where all you can do is get up on a knee and do the incomplete. He didn't catch it. Can't defend it. That touchdown pass was Purdy's 4th of the game. He now leads the NFL in touchdown passes with 29 because Dak did not throw a touchdown pass against the Bills. Hell, Josh Allen barely threw a touchdown pass against the Cowboys in that game. I think Dak's out. I won't spend too much time on this now. Maybe do something later, but Dak's out of the MVP race. You can't get blown out in December, mid-December, and be the MVP. I don't think. Maybe it's happened before, but I think he's out. So Dylan here says that's an MVP level throw. That's correct. I don't think he's won the MVP yet. I'm not convinced that he's gonna. Definitely he's worthy. Maybe I'll do a video later on that today. But if you watch any of the Ravens game and you heard the way Tirico talked about Lamar, the Ravens game in a week, Christmas Day, a week. That's when the Niners play the Ravens. That'll be the game where we can decide, has he definitely won the MVP? Crazy to say, I don't think Josh Allen's totally out of it, even though if you check his box score from yesterday, I watched the game, but 7 of 15 for 94 yards. Which, when you're running at 7 yards a clip with James Cook, let James cook, right? So, which is what he said after the game. So I get it, but that helps Brock. It helps Brock that Josh Allen didn't have that type of game in order to get the in order to to kind of win the MVP. They're trying to find somebody else to give it to. I think there's some truth to that. Yeah, I think there's truth to that. Man, I feel bad I didn't have that Brock injury clip because we all saw it though. But I wanted to really watch that because it was a great play by Juice. It was a great play by Juice Check. All right. I think that's that for that. Let's get to a couple of your comments. I don't know what that means. So, Rick, the 49ers are going to get a big preparation, and they're going to get all the starters back on defense and then offense. This week's about getting Hargrave and Armstead back. If Philly were to lose tonight, and we're doing this early Monday morning, if you're watching this later in the day, and maybe there's been news about Jalen Hurts, whether he's playing or not. If Philly were to lose tonight, then I think this thing's about the 1 seed gets pretty wrapped up by the Niners because they've got the head-to-head tiebreaker. Even if they were to lose to Baltimore, have the head-to-head tiebreaker with Dallas, have the head-to-head tiebreaker with Philly, and they have the conference tiebreaker. They've got a 2-game lead in the conference tiebreaker over Detroit. So they'd be in great shape. Daniel says 90% of QBs can't make that throw. I disagree with that. I think a lot of quarterbacks can make that throw. I think the thing that Purdy does that has made him special is that he makes a lot of throws that on an individual throw basis, you'd go, take that clip, show it to 10 quarterbacks. Can you guys make that throw? Show me you can make that throw. I think most of them can make the throw. That's the thing about Brock. But most of them don't make the throw as consistently as he does, which is what, if you're going to be an elite quarterback, most of the throws you make are going to be throws that most guys make. You just make them all the time. And then there's the special throws in there too, which, I think we tend to give those throws to like the arm strength guys. But I think most of the throws Brock makes, you can make the throw. Most of these guys can make them. They're not. You may remember the quote from last week. What was my quote? It was my quote. The most invisible superpower is consistency. It's not that Brock makes throws that nobody else makes. It's that he makes them with a consistency that few others have. And that then, as you start stacking all these, if you go back to the GFF grading, it's not about making plus. A lot of you are new here. So GFF grading was how I graded just based on the PFF scale in camp. A 0 throw is your average throw. You go to like -2.5 for bad throws and +2.5 for good throws. Big time throws are like +2 throws. Well, if you go look, I haven't looked this year, but last year, your best quarterbacks average like 2 on the high end 4 big time throws a game. So it's like 2.5, 3 big time, oh my God, throws a game, right? Maybe 2. That's really high. Stafford led the league last year. Most of your throws are not those throws. Most of your throws are like the +1 throws. And Brock is making a ton of those throws. And that's why I said last night on the podcast, which you can check out down in the description below or also on the channel, that even though he wasn't a 70% passer against the Cardinals for the first time in 7 games, he wasn't a 70% passer. I judge a lot of the quarterback play based on how many plus graded throws I write down, even though I'm not individually grading the throws. I'm just noting them and describing them to myself so I remember them. And I think this game had the Cardinal game has as many of those throws as any of those games, just as many or more as any of those 70% games. So that's why I thought it was as good a game as he's had, even though, the numbers weren't as big as they were. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he did not exist. Yeah, I did watch a Kevin Spacey movie the other night, but it wasn't that. It was L.A. Confidential. Good movie. Let's see. Bones McCoy, I'd love to see more of that 5-man front against the Ravens. Make Lamar beat you with his arm. You just got to get those 2 D tackles back, because otherwise they will run it down your throat. Judd says if the Niners lose the Ravens, as long as it's a good game, can lose that game, won't panic. Might be the perfect time to lose that final kick up the ass reminder. Is a reminder that only 1,000% will win the Super Bowl. I don't think they need that final kick in the ass. They had it already this year. They stared, the wild card in the face. They saw what it was like to suck. Kind of, not really, but I mean, they lost 3. I think it was all they needed. It's if you go back, these teams, the Shanahan teams only need 1 kick in the ass, like one time during the season where they go, oh, they only need one. They only need to be reminded once. That's one very good thing you'd say about these Shanahan teams. And I don't think they need another one. They got it. They've got the message. To me, they look like a team that has a bunch of players that have been close to the Super Bowl and haven't won it yet. That's what in terms of just like a weekly effort now. So I think they've got it. Brock may not have the cannon, but he's got enough arm strength to make the necessary throws at the right time. The touchdown pass to McCaffrey over the middle had plenty of zip, no doubt. I thought the throw with Brendel in his chest, kind of left hash to Ayuk, was another example of that. They give Coach of the Year to a team that sucked last year and is better this year. I've always said it. That's basically what the award is. We thought you were going to suck. Brian Dable won it last year. Kyle won't win it this year, whatever. But yeah. So there you go. All right. That's that for that. Got to roll. Have a good day. If you're catching this later in the day, we can react to it soon, I'm sure. But there is there is Brock Purdy holding the key. Toughness, unfazed, on the money, touch, and making the plays that are there to be made more than other people would make them. I think I'm pretty convinced of that. The quarterback quote I gave you, the Debo quote I gave you, what did both guys point out? They pointed out Kyle. But what did we see when Darnold came into the game? And I've been intrigued with Darnold. There were a couple plays there to be made. They didn't get made. Now, in fairness to Sam, if he played 4 quarters, he might settle down a little bit. He had about 10 weeks of arm strength built up, turbo. If you had been holding the turbo button, he had about 10 weeks of turbo button held up to fire off a couple of throws that were, rocket arm throws, but they were incompletions. So I think it's very safe to say that for all the stuff that Kyle schemes wide open, and it's a lot of it, Debo just gave him the credit, that Brock hits that stuff more consistently than other guys would hit it. And that's a key to the whole thing. All right, that's that. Thanks for hanging. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll talk to you later. See you.